Fox 5 News at noon starts right now.
You hear people talk about school shootings and whatnot, but then when it actually happens to you, I don't know, it feels like some weird nightmare.
It was scary because I don't know, like so much emotions were going on, and I was shaking for a while. I don't know, I was scared.
We were going about our day, and then like the first shot you're gonna hear is like pop pop, and then after that like our teacher wants to like spy out the window. It's just like everybody get down, and they can hear like pop 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 pop, like just going off.
A small city knocked off kilter when police say a 14-year-old burst into Apalachee High School with an AR-style weapon and killed 4 people, 2 students, 2 teachers. That shooting, less than a month into the new school year, sent students and staff ducking for cover. 9 of them had to be hospitalized. We want to begin this hour by honoring those victims. The students, both just 14 years old, both teachers taught math. Fox 5's Eric Perry followed this story since the moment it broke. He joins us live outside Apalachee High School now, where classes are canceled for the remainder of the week. Eric, what is the situation there today? What's the latest?
Yeah, Alex, good afternoon to you. Really, you can feel it all throughout this community, all throughout Metro Atlanta, as just over now 26 hours since that gunman went into this high school and killed 4 people, injured 9 others. It is on everyone's mind. I want to move out of the way to show you where many have been gathering this morning. There are flowers here at the sign once you come into Apalachee High School, but also further by the flagpole. When I watched it yesterday be lowered to half staff, but you can see some balloons, you can see some flowers. People coming together. Earlier, I saw people holding hands, having a prayer circle this morning. Let's set the scene. Very difficult day yesterday, but we want to walk you through what we know so far. That first call came in around 10:20 yesterday morning inside of Apalachee High School to the sheriff's office. They say within minutes they encountered the shooter, now identified as Colt Gray. They say that he dropped his weapon and surrendered after he was confronted by first responders. So this is not before the gunman shot and killed 4 people, injuring 9 others. Now, GBI has identified the 4 people as 2 teachers, Richard Aspinwall and Christina Ermy, and 2 students, Mason Shermahorn and Christian Angulo, both 14 years old. Of course, we're still learning the conditions of those 9 others, but back out here yesterday, I spent 7-8 hours here on the scene talking to students and parents on what can arguably be called the most horrific day and traumatic day of their lives. They walk us through what they saw, what they heard. Take a listen to some of the sound that we brought to you.
I heard 4 gunshots, and we all just like stood there, looked at each other, and our other healthcare teacher came in and told us to run to the closet or bathroom to hide. We hid there for like 15 to 20 minutes.
He came up to my door, or the door to our classroom. Classmate got up. She went to open the door, but she didn't because she saw that he had a gun. She announced it. As soon as she announced it, he started firing. We all went into the corner. Yeah, we just kind of heard a lot of gunshots. Then we heard a lot of, and then like maybe like 3 minutes later, we heard police running in.
Yeah, these are 14, 15-year-olds, Alex, that we are talking about who came face to face with the gunman and saw him. Now, classes here in the county have been closed and canceled for the rest of the week here, giving these families some time to begin the process of healing and really comprehending what is going on. Now, back out here at the scene, as for the shooter, I'm told he was immediately interviewed. He will be charged as an adult. He is now in Gainesville at the juvenile detention center there. But really, we're also learning that he will make his first court appearance. That is new within the past hour. Tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. is when he will go before a judge for the first time. Of course, we will be there. But back here today, the feeling is also real. The heavy hearts also real. People continuing to come out, lay flowers, and just see the sight that they never thought they would ever see before. Alex?
Okay, Eric, we know school is closed for now and will be for a while, but can you paint a picture of just how many people are stopping by and laying wreaths, paying their respects?
Yeah, Alex, so about an hour ago, I saw two dogs, big dogs at that, service animals, coming out just to do what they can with their owners. I asked them questions. They said they wanted to come. They live about 20 minutes away. They're with an organization that, with situations like this happen, they come out to give some sort of relief. She was very poignant in saying, you know, sometimes people, they don't want to talk to other people. They just want to talk to an animal or get those emotions out. So we've seen things like that. We've seen water being distributed. We've been seeing food being distributed. That was yesterday. That's translated into today. And then we've seen a lot of tears. We've seen a lot of hugs as people stood right there behind me at that flagpole, placing different balloons and just trying to soak in the magnitude of the traumatic events that happened yesterday, Alex.
That might be the only silver lining here, is seeing the community come out and support one another. One more question for you, Eric. Is there any update yet on a possible motive here?
Yeah, we are still trying to figure out just what it is that caused all of this. At this point, we cannot confirm a motive. That is something that we asked GBI, just different questions floating around on social media about the shooter. They have not been able to confirm that for us to report it just yet, but that is something we are still working to learn. But honestly, that is what the nation wants to know now. Because he is still alive, he was interviewed. Hopefully, they are able to get some sort of an answer as to just why he did it, Alex.
Eric Perry at Apalachee High School, thank you for that report. During a news conference last night, Governor Kemp said it was not the time for politics, but instead a time for an investigation, a time to mourn, and a time to thank first responders and school officials following that deadly shooting. He also pledged the state's full support.
These are our neighbors, these are our friends, and this community is hurting today. And I would just ask all Georgians and all Americans to continue to keep these families, these educators, and these students in your thoughts and prayers.
President Biden says federal help for Apalachee High is on the way. A statement reads in part, what should have been a joyous back-to-school season in Winder, Georgia, has now turned into another horrific reminder of how gun violence continues to tear our communities apart. As authorities continue their investigation into a possible motive, we're hearing from a student who was inside one of those classrooms moments after the 14-year-old shooter first fired those shots.
A red siren, or not a siren, but a light went on, until that's when we realized it was for real. Then we heard like pieces literally everywhere, and it was like a chase going on in the halls. And then our math teacher got shot.
I would have never thought that this would happen so close to me, and that it would happen to people that I cared about.
These young people are clearly in shock. That teacher has now been identified as Christina Irmi. Irmi, along with fellow teacher Richard Aspinwall and students Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Angulo, were among those killed. Fox 5's Brooke Zonner continues our team coverage from Barrow County, remembering these victims.
Well, it has no doubt been a very difficult couple of hours and days and months ahead for this very small, tight-knit community here in Barrow County. Apalachee High School right now is starting to see a little bit more activity as the morning has gone on. You're looking at the flags that are currently flying at half-staff. We've seen some people gathering, laying down flowers, praying for this community. We've also talked to a number of parents out here, specifically when they were on the scene yesterday, about all of this, and they say you really don't know what this is going to feel like until it hits your own community.
I would have never thought that this would happen so close to me, and that it would happen to people that I cared about.
And my heart is breaking for the families and the injured families and the ones that lost loved ones. I pray for them. And I have been crying all day and praying all day. This is a very sad day for us here in Barrow County.
That's really just scratching the surface of what we've started to learn about these victims and their families and what they meant to this small, tight-knit community here. Obviously going to be some very difficult days ahead, especially thinking about when these students have to return to class. According to Barrow County Schools, they will not be attending classes for the rest of this week. Of course, we're going to keep you posted when they do go back to class and as this investigation continues to unfold. That's the latest here in front of Apalachee High School. I'm Brooke Zonner, Fox 5 News.
Brooke, thank you. Church and community leaders are working to help with healing. Several vigils were held last night to remember all those lost lives. Fox 5's Lindsay Tooman explains.
Where this happened also has made a big difference. Winder is a relatively small community, and that means the impact has been felt all across the community. It's also brought people together to help their neighbors who need it the most.
Because Jesus makes this comment. He says, pray for your enemies.
A crowd of people stood arm in arm, clutching candles and each other, as they gathered at a vigil for the lives lost and others injured during the shooting at Apalachee High School.
It's just, heart-wrenching to find out, this happened here in Winder today, and just devastating. I've got 3 children of my own that are all in school, and just can't imagine what the families and the staff and the faculty and the students are going through. Kimberly Johnson is a bus driver for Apalachee High School. She was standing by all day, waiting to bring the kids back home to their families, desperate to see the faces she sees each morning and afternoon.
My heart is breaking for the families and the injured families and the ones that lost loved ones. I pray for them. And I have been crying all day and praying all day. This is a very sad day for us here in Bexar County.
Local churches also opened their doors for the community, letting people gather in prayer and song.
I wanted to pay my respects to the families because I just can't imagine what they're going through. And thinking about my kids, it's hard.
And there are several GoFundMes set up. 2 of them are set up individually for 2 of the victims. Those have already raised more than $100,000. Another one is set up to support all of the families impacted, and all of these have been verified by GoFundMe. We have the links on our website, fox5atlanta.com. Reporting from the Fox 5 News Desk, I'm Lindsay Tuman for Fox 5 News.
Lindsay, thank you. In response to the Apalachee High School shooting, other schools will have heightened security measures. They include Flowery Branch, Oconee County Schools, and Walton County Schools. Some districts, like Clark County, are reviewing security measures and making updates as needed. We're also learning overnight a Gainesville teen was taken into custody. Gainesville police say the 14-year-old scared the public on social media with threats and suggestive actions. All right, yesterday's deadly shooting was, of course, the backdrop of all this. The police chief released a statement that reads in part, hoax or not, we will actively investigate every threat or possible action to any school or student. An official GoFundMe has been set up to support Apalachee schools and affected families. As this story continues to develop, we will update you both on air and online, as well as on our news app. Be sure to turn on your push notifications so you don't miss a thing. That was a lot of very heavy news to keep you updated on, but we do want to focus your attention on the weather now with a live look outside at downtown Atlanta. Sure does look nice out there, but this is the beginning of some changing temperatures and conditions. Alex.
That's right. Beginning to see the cloud cover build in now across metro Atlanta, especially on the south side. That's just going to become more numerous through the afternoon. The good news is it's going to keep our temperatures relatively low. It's only 77 in the city right now. Only expected to warm a couple more degrees. 75 in Covington, 77 over in Eatonton, 78 in Athens, and 76 in Gainesville at this hour. We do have a couple of showers out there. Nothing really too crazy, just a couple of sprinkles for the most part. That's going to be up in northwest Georgia. Some more rain back down into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's this system here off the Louisiana-Texas coast that's trying to meander its way towards northern Georgia. So we're going to see that cloud cover on the increase through the afternoon. I expect the temperatures to get into the low 80s here before the day is said and done. I'm looking for a high temperature, likely somewhere around 83 today here in the city, 83 in Canton, 81 in Gainesville, 80 over in Blairsville, 79 in LaGrange and Thomaston. That's because the cloud cover will be around for a bit longer down there, and we'll watch for that to slide towards the north here through the night tonight. So here's how it looks on the forecast model. You see a couple of showers possible down to the south here through the afternoon, and then as we find our way into the overnight hours, that's when that rain chance is really going to expand northward here into metro Atlanta and north Georgia. But the good news is the rain gets out of here for the weekend. We'll have a slim chance for a shower on Saturday. Of course, we've got the races down at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 82 on Saturday, 83 on Sunday. So, Alex, let's just tunnel vision to the weekend if we can.
Yeah, another reason to do so. Thank you. Well, in a few hours, a virtual hearing will take place concerning Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis's romantic relationship with Nathan Wade. Willis appointed Wade to lead the election interference case against former President Donald Trump. Defense attorney Ashley Merchant discovered the relationship and claimed it was a conflict of interest. Merchant represents Michael Roman, a former Trump aide, who is also charged in that case. So that hearing is set for 2 p.m. and we will watch it closely for you. A judge will hear arguments today about the next steps in the election interference or subversion case against former President Trump. It's the first hearing since the Supreme Court ruled former presidents are immune from criminal charges. Federal prosecutors are submitting a proposal on how to apply the ruling to that case, but defense lawyers are trying to get it thrown out completely.
The economy is top of mind for voters this year, and both candidates are making their pitch with drastically different plans. I'm Mike Emanuel in Washington. I'll have the details coming up.